What's going on, peoples? It's your boy Positive Be White. I caught up with the homie Vinny.
What's happening? What's happening?
And today what we're gonna do is basically just do a tribute to the late Nipsey Hussle.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we're gonna talk about the impact that he had on his section, Crenshaw and Slauson. As you can see, we both rocking the Crenshaw, paraphernalia.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna do a tribute to him. And what I want to really do is break down and discuss like the album he dropped,
right,
which was Victory Lap.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give my top 2 songs that I like.
Yeah.
And then I'll let you give your top 2 songs that you like.
For sure.
And definitely want to get your take on his impact as an artist and what he brought to the game and the significance of him out on the West Coast and in LA.
Oh, for sure. So that's what you want to start off with?
Yeah, let's do it.
No, man, you know what's crazy is the Nipsey story for me is interesting because I witnessed it, firsthand.
Right.
When he was on his rise, that's when I was back at home.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I first heard him, the first song that he did was this song with Game called They Roll.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working at Macy's selling women's shoes, right? And we in the stock room, and I want to say it was K-Day, because K-Day would play like new artists and everything. Or that might have been Power 106 or K-Day, but they had a segment where they were playing new artists.
Right.
And that song came on, and I'm like, damn, who is it? I was tripping because that's the first time I ever heard somebody like really bang on a track. Like he was like, like just a new crib and all this stuff. I was like, dang, they can say this on the radio now? Like I was tripping. I was like, dang, man. But it just, dude was just hard. I was like, damn, man, who is this cat? Like, okay, Nipsey Hussle. Okay,
yeah.
Let me look in and see who this cat is. So it became real interesting because when on my way to work, I would take La Brea down to Crenshaw down to Slauson and make a right on Slauson to catch La Brea and drive to Manhattan Beach down La Brea.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember his brother Black Sam like outside like where the Marathon store is now, but they were selling like the mannequins with the Crenshaw shirt on and everything. I was like, oh shit, that's kind of fly. I liked it, but where I'm from, I couldn't wear that.
Right.
And I'll get to some situation that happened when I just said fuck it, and then I went and bought it. But I saw like the beginning stages of Nip, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would every time I drive past Slauson, I'd be like, damn man, them Crenshaw shirts is fly.
Mm-hmm.
They real fly. And then I actually ran into the dude in the most random place ever. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Crazy.
Let's talk about that story.
Yeah. Cause I'm like I said, I'm working at Manhattan Beach. And I used to take the train. My car had broke down, so I had to take the train to work for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting off at the station. It was a station at MacArthur Park, near MacArthur Park.
Mm-hmm.
It was like middle of nowhere. It's like downtown LA. Ain't nothing over there but a lot of El Salvadorians, Mexicans, and homeless people.
Okay.
But I'm like walking towards my apartment. And next thing I know, I see Nip coming out of a building, and he had knocked something down. And this is how I kind of knew he was a solid dude, because he could have just left it on the ground. But this cat actually took the time put it back, like made sure it was neat and everything. Nobody's looking at him. No, he don't know. Nobody's watching. But I'm seeing him like making sure it was nicely put back to where it was.
Right.
And then I looked up. I said, "Hey man, you Nipsey Hussle, ain't you?" He's like, "Yeah, man." I'm like, "Oh shit, I fuck with your shit, bro. You pretty hard." You know what I'm saying? And he was like, "I appreciate that." You know, I was like, "Man, when I shoot music videos or any and all that, you know, I think at the time." Everybody was using like AIM, you know what I'm saying? So I gave him my AIM name and everything like that. He was like, "For sure, if I need you, homie, I got you." And then I remember just watching him. He had a Mercedes-Benz compressor. He got in that bad boy and he just drove off. And that was the first time I ever saw him. So I go back and I tell the homies that I saw him. Yeah. I ain't gonna say who said it, but one of my homies was like, "Hey, next time you see that nigga, tell him keep his ass on the other side of the tent." I ain't gonna say which one of the homies said that shit, but they was like, "Tell that nigga to stay his ass on the other side of the tent." Cause you know, it's like, it's funk between
it's
they,
like that.
they and, you know, whatever. But but that was the first time I ever saw him, you know, and But me seeing him, like, even that little thing that he did with making sure that, I was like, man, that's a dude of high character. Cause, you know what I'm saying? It's something little, but because people will just walk past stuff and knock it down, and you know, he's a celebrity, but nobody's watching him, and he still, you know, took the time to make sure it was nice and neat. But that just said a lot to me about his character. You know?
And then like that's what they say, like you judge a person's character by what they do when nobody's looking.
Man.
Because it's one thing to do it when everybody's watching, because you know everybody's got eyes on you, but when nobody's watching you do it. It's really a testament to your character.
Exactly, and man, that gave me a lot of respect towards that cat. From then on, I was a fan of him. You know, even though it wasn't, you know. A lot of my homies wasn't really a fan of him due to, you know, like
the size,
you know, the politics of it all. But I liked him, you know what I'm saying? I thought I saw like what he was doing. Like I would I would risk my life to go over there anyway, because my favorite barbecue spot is right there anyway, like right behind the Marathon store, which is Woody's Barbecue, the best barbecue. Woody's and Phillips on Crenshaw and Jeff, and Woody's on Crenshaw and Slauson. The best barbecue I've ever had in my entire life. Anytime y'all ever over in LA, it's worth the risk. You know, the safety is worth the risk. You know what I'm saying? To go get you some Woody's barbecue. I would just go over there, and I was like, man, you know what? This brother, he hustling, you know, I see his movement, I like it, his music is pretty dope. I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna support. So I went and bought a gray Crenshaw sweater, and my homeboy had a show that night, and I wore it. And it was some dudes from another neighborhood that we was all congregating at my homie's apartment, and we was some dudes I ain't never seen before was at his apartment from another hood, and I wore it, and then one of the dudes was just like, "Why you wearing that?" I was like, "This shit fly." He was like, "Man, you know you can't be wearing that," you know, he like kind of pressing me about it. I'm like, who is this nigga? You know, I never met this cat before in my life, but he over here pressing me about a sweater. I'm like, I think it's fly, you know what I'm saying? This is like you looking at it like we rivals, and I'm looking at it like, man, it's a brother, you know, who's doing something different, you know, unique out the box. He got his own store. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna support this black man. I'm not even looking at it like on no gang affiliation type of thing, man. I see him as a black man out here really doing it. So, you know, homie was just popping his guns, and he made an issue of it the whole night. It ain't turning to nothing physical or anything like that, but it's just like, the Crenshaw thing, like it. Everybody was just tripping about it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but I've never been that type of dude to play the politics, you know. I mean, I get it, you know, but me having that experience living in LA and Atlanta, you know, I see Atlanta made me realize the value of black people, you know, because Atlanta's a black city, you know, it's a chocolate city. So like I get the gang thing in LA, it's politics, I get that part, but being out in Atlanta made me see like have a lot of love and appreciation for black people, because out here it's a lot of black entrepreneurs, businesses, the whole nine. So I was like, man, it ain't gotta be that way.
Basically what I want to do is give a little inspirational moment behind what I feel the importance of the naming of the album, Victory Lap. And for us to both be, you know, entrepreneurs and have, you know, business things going on, the name Victory Lap just to me means, of course, as he says, the marathon continues, but if you think about, you know, running a marathon and just running around a track, you have different strategies depending on the race you're running, if that makes sense. So when you want to start out, you know, out the gate fast, and then, you know, you use the curves to kind of build your momentum in the straightaway. So doing that and using that type of thing to explain the journey of entrepreneurship, it's all about strategy, and it's all about just trying to maintain and strategize how you're gonna do stuff.
Right.
So that's why I enjoyed that album. And another thing I want to do is talk about my two favorite songs. Number one would be Million While You're Young. And then number two would be Right Hand to God. And of course the Right Hand to God is kind of self-explanatory. I'm a very spiritual person. So I believe in God and all those joys that come with that. And then Million While You're Young. And the reason I like that is because I feel like most of us, you know, we want to get it while we're young.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because the retirement age, they keep pushing it back. Further and further back. So it might be 70 by the time we get to it. So I definitely want to be able to enjoy those fruits of my labor while I'm, you know, young. I'm in my mid-30s right now, as you are. Then with a youngin' on the way, I want to be able to provide for my wife and family and give her the best chance at life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what it's about.
So those two really impact me. So Vinny, what were your two favorite songs off that Victory Lap album?
Whew, man, it's so. I definitely the song that will be number one is the intro track, Victory. As soon as it come on, it's like I'm ready to go. Like for real, man. As soon as that part come on, I'm like, let's get this day going. That I promise you, I play that song almost every morning just so I can get in that, just pull myself into that mind state. Like, okay, it's time to get it right. But the second song is hard, man, because I have three that could fit in that category. So I don't know, man.
Give me your top three.
Okay, my top three is definitely Victory Lap. Okay. Number two is definitely Hustle and Motivate. Like that's another one. Like
that's a banger too.
Man, I'm like, ooh, I that makes me want to go out and get one of these. Especially like when he say I don't do this shit for nothing. It just make me think of my children. You know what I'm saying? So that's the line that gets me. And Double Up, like, God, that's just, man, I'm telling you, like, that's my, like, bruh, when it was like a late night in LA, like, I'm driving down the 405, and I'm just like, that's my song, like, my night song, like, I'm just cruising to that song. But yeah, those are my three, but I mean, the whole album was just like, damn, man, that was a masterpiece that he put out. You know what I'm saying?
So you can just let play, man.
Right. It came out around my birthday too, in 2018. Yeah, damn, that's his best piece of work.
Right, and then with Double Up, I enjoyed the video too.
Oh man,
it was very, very well done. It was very well thought about. And the whole vibe of it was real cool.
I loved it too. I when I first saw it, when I saw Lauren London and the dude that played in ATL. As soon as he came on the camera, I just started dying laughing. Like when it's like they purposely knew, like when they show him, everybody gonna start laughing. So. Yeah,
especially in that big crib when they pulled up and sitting on the water.
Oh man, beautiful, man. Like the whole aesthetics to that video was awesome. It felt the vibe was set for that video. Like man, he like his last pieces of work, bro, was just like his video. I loved Hustle and Motivate video.
Mm-hmm.
That video was so dope to me, man. Like, I remember when I was at work and it came out, I just kept rewinding it.
Mm-hmm.
But Victory Lap was dope too. You know a song that took me a minute to start to actually dig?
What's that?
Status Symbol 3.
Oh yeah.
After a while, when I first heard it, I was like, man, it's alright. But then after a while, man, it started to play into my psyche. Like when I started getting distracted by stuff, and then I go back to that song, I was like, almost forgot what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like that song started kicking in my head. So I start digging that song. But like I said, man, the whole album was so dope, man. It was well thought out. The tracks were perfectly put in. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like the energy from Victory Lap to the way it ends with Double Up, man. He just, man. Did you ever get a chance to listen to his interview, like the process of putting that album together?
That one I haven't.
Man.
I listened to him on a couple different interviews, just discussing different things, but I didn't see that actual.
Yeah, you gotta check that out because the way he talked about like the way he wanted to use the mics, the way he recorded it, Rap Niggas, how the original sounded, and he sent it to Puff, and Puff was like,
"Oh, nah, he had to turn it down." He's like, "You want it to sound like this?" I did see that clip.
Yeah, man. So,
he said he was kind of in his feelings at first.
Yeah, no, but when that song first came out, like, I was like, because that beat just hit you right here,
right?
Boom, 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 boom. Like, man, he killed that. But yeah, man, it was just a great album. I really, really love that album. It's definitely my favorite Nip album. The second would be Nip Mailbox Money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got that downloaded on the phone.
Oh my god, that album is incredible.
Yeah.
My favorite track on that one is between Stay Loyal and
I like Stay Loyal. That's a dope one.
Yeah, the game that he be giving like at the end of the song too, like it's like Stay Loyal and Overtime.
Overtime is man. Those are two that I definitely have downloaded, and I like Overtime because he like I don't need a mic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Exactly.
And it's just so crazy, man. Like when you put those things into perspective and try to correlate them with your life and your process, you begin to like really appreciate the artwork.
Well, you know, to get like on the spiritual side of things, that was his mission. Right, was what he was sent here to do. And I liken him to the evolution of Tupac. Like I believe that had Pac been able to live that age, that would be when he would be when Nipsey did. You know what I'm saying? I felt like Nipsey took the baton from him. Right. Because he did. He took what Pac had like and just expanded on it. You know, that's why, you know, when his death happened, you know, everybody felt the way that they felt when Pac died. You know what I'm saying?
Because it was like, for me, it was like reliving that moment again.
It felt the same.
And I had to I never forget, I was at home, and the day like after it happened, I was just sitting at home, and I didn't really want to move. I was just like, I thought about it. I was like, man, Pop died, and then 6 months later Biggie died, and then when Nip died, it was like all that emotion came back up because he was along those lines.
Yeah, he definitely was. Yeah, that was, and it's coming up on the anniversary too, man. Which is that was a rough 3-day stretch for me. Because on one hand, I went out to LA because my cousin had passed. One of my favorite cousins, like talk about Hustle. Hustle.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he had passed, you know, and his he didn't want a funeral, but we just did a memorial for him. Right. So and then the day before that, my son's birthday, you know, so I'm coming off my son's birthday, then I gotta go to LA, you know, for my cousin's, you know, that's memorial, and the day after that, bro, and let me tell you how crazy like life is. Normally when I go to LA, I gotta do two things. I gotta go to a Laker game.
Oh, I still gotta go to I haven't been yet, man.
Oh,
I've been
man.
to LA.
Yeah.
LA, I've been to Frisco, I've been to San Diego, but I haven't been to a Lakers game.
Man.
So when you go to one, man, when everything opens back up and you get a chance to go to one.
Oh yeah, we gotta hit one. Yeah, we have.
I gotta do that, man.
It's just, but you know what, man? I'll say this. It's like a Laker game. We'll get to that, but when Kobe was playing, it was nothing like that, bro. I can't even explain the energy. Like when that fourth quarter came and it was 6 minutes and we still had a chance. Like the energy, it's unmatched. I can't. But we'll get to that. But yeah, man. So I'm in LA and normally when I go out to LA, I always go to a Laker game and I go to the Marathon store. Like I have to make those two stops.
I'm gonna tell a story about that too once you get there.
Okay. So the day that he got killed, I had went to Roscoe's and I was like, all right, after I get done eating, I'm gonna go down to the Marathon store and go grab me some things. But I ate, man. I got a damn double waffle. I got a big ass chicken breast. I got a chicken leg. I ate all of that shit in a clips, which is like a fruit punch and lemonade mixed together. I ate and drunk all that shit, man. I had the itis like crazy. So I was like, all right, man. I'll go down there after I take this nap.
Yeah.
And I went to my homeboy's apartment. And I just sat in the chair. I was tired as hell. We was watching Duke. Because Duke was playing. This the game I think they got eliminated. And I just remember my homeboy Randy had put something on Facebook. They shot Nip. And I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. Like, mind you, we literally right down the street. Me and my homeboy stays on Pico and La Cienega, and Nip is on Crenshaw and Slauson. That's without traffic. It's about 15-20 minutes. It's like literally down the street. So I'm like, nah, man, not real. So but I checked Twitter and boom, 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 boom. It's all on there. And then some asshole shares a video of like, I did not want to see that. That was gut wrenching to see that man lifeless like that. Yeah. That's something I never ever want to. I can't even get that image out of my head, but that hurt to see that man like that. Yeah. And then you know, time keeps going on, and they just said, yeah, he didn't survive. He died. Like
that was crazy, man.
Bro, I had to walk out the apartment, man, because that tore me up. That really tore me up. Like I was messed up, and you could feel the energy in the city too, bro. Because it's only one. I can't imagine. I wasn't out there when Kobe died, but I can imagine it was just like that. It's only 2 times I've seen LA ever that sad, and it was when the Lakers like blew this 30-point lead to Boston, and you can see everybody in the car just look like heads down, like sad.
We so used to that here.
We're
just so used to that here, man.
Sorry about that. but yeah, man. So we like, I mean, I'm walking down the street, I'm looking in everybody's car, everybody is just heads down, sad. Like another thing, you know, his hood, they want to know who did that. So, you know, my homie like, man, this is just best we stay in the house for right now, you know, because it was gonna go down, and I already knew that. So yeah, the next day, man, I had went out to the Marathon store, and all the memorials was up, and, you know, it was good. It wasn't good, but just to see like the Bloods and the Crips there, you know, like everybody was there just to show love and wasn't tripping, you know, like cats, you know, like the 60s, the A-Trays, you know, the Rolling 20s was there, you know what I'm saying? DPS, all the hoods that was around, that was in the area, everybody was out there showing love, you know, and that was really good for me to see that, but it was just unfortunate it took his life to get lost for, you know, cats to realize, yo, you know, this is senseless, you know what I'm saying?
It's bigger than that. And then it's so crazy because, like, just like you mentioned, the Marathon store. I had a cousin that actually moved out to LA for a while. Okay. Had a child, and he moved out there to LA. And you know, I was like, man, you done been to the Marathon store? You got you some gear? He was like, nah. He's like, nah, cuz I don't really think. He's like, can't really go around if you're not from there. He's like, you can't really just, you know, pull up and just walk in there. He said it just ain't like that. You know what I mean? He was like, man, from what he's heard, the stories he's heard, he's like, man, if you pull up, they like, yo, what you doing around here? Like, are you purchasing something? Are you copying something? So I don't know.
You know what it is, man. And a lot of people don't realize this. It's about how you carry yourself. You know, if you LA people, like the gangbangers, if you look like you weak or whatever, and they can get away with banging on you, they gonna do it. But that's why my cousin that passed away, he would always tell me, you don't walk around with your head down. You walk around with your chest out, your chin up, your head high. Like that's you give off that energy. Like I'm not the one to mess with. Right? Like and I'm not saying this to gloat, but I've only probably been banged on probably once in my entire life, and I was in an area I wasn't even expecting nobody to be out there. That's the only time I ever been banged on. But other than that, man, I've been everywhere in LA. Like ain't a place I ain't been to. But it's not. I'm not going there with disrespect. I'm just going there to see my peoples or whatever, or get something to eat. But it's how you carry yourself,
right?
And that's a way even in life.
Exactly. It's always just like you said, how you carry yourself, and just not being that guy that looks square.
Yeah.
They can pick that out. So definitely, I got that vibe from my cousin. So,
right.
And I've been to LA. I went out there with one of my big homies. Shout out to my big homie Rance, a real good guy from LA. And he showed me around. So we went through Compton, and I was able to get a picture in front of the Coliseum. Okay. So I actually enjoyed it. He took me down to Long Beach, and I had a good time. So and I actually been out to San Diego and Frisco. And shout out to Jamal on the Frisco trip. We had a good time. Yeah. But so to kind of wrap things up, man, what are some of the things that obviously Victory Lap was his only album, right? He had a lot of mixtapes.
Yeah, I think no, Crenshaw was considered an album too. Okay.
So what legacy do you think he left behind? And I hate, it's so unfortunate that he the way he went out, but what do you think legacy that he left behind?
Man, I would say entrepreneurship in hip hop and changing your community. And this is one thing, like, I really wish I got the chance to tell him, because he's been in so many places where I've been, and I just never got a chance to link up with him. But I wish I could have told him, man, like, he's a paradigm shifter. Because let me tell you, as a cat that always went up, I was always on Crenshaw and Sloss, and I used to work on Crenshaw and 48, this production company on Crenshaw and 48, so I know the area. I've been there a long time, and the energy, like when he started building that area up, it became like, it used to be hostile, and it became like, I won't say it's like cool or anything, but it just was not as hostile. It was like more so, inclusive. Like, okay, you here to do business, you are here to do commerce, you here to eat or whatever. Nobody's really gonna mess with you like that. He changed that energy, what I'm saying? He got everybody on like now I can do this. Now I can open up my own clothing store. Now I can go buy the block. Cause in LA now you got G Perico, who got his So Way Out store. You got Joe Moses, who got his own brand and his own store. Like, it's a lot of cats that he inspired to go out and do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the legacy that he has in LA. He's a pillar. He's a pillar of Los Angeles. Like, it sucks that we lost the two biggest pillars in the city, Kobe and Nipsey, within a year. You know what I'm saying? It still doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't get it. I'm like, why? Like, why those two? Like, good people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But that's the legacy I have of him, man. Like, he was a paradigm shifter. He was a once in a generation human being. And he, instead of like I said, how he's kind of like the evolution of Tupac. Like a lot of these rappers, everybody wants to emulate Tupac's personality, but very rare do they want to imitate his principles. You know what I'm saying? Like he put his people first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people might look at Tupac like, oh, he was crazy, wild, but they forget this is a 25-year-old kid.
Yeah, he was 25.
25. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
But and he was still trying to find himself and trying to find that balance. I encourage anybody that has something crazy to say about Tupac, watch him outside of the courtroom when he was on trial for that rape charge.
Yeah.
How he handled the media. Like you got to see that. Like this is I think he was like 22 or 23. Like handling the media when he's being accused of rape. He was just like putting everybody in their place and the way he was articulating himself or whatever. But yeah, that's to me that's Nip's legacy, man. He was he was ahead of his time, and I don't think we'll see anybody else like him. But I do hope that people take his principles and his blueprint and emulate that. Because if we have more cats like that, man, we will really saturate the market, and we'll see a whole new generation of entrepreneurs and black-owned businesses and black empowerment, the things that we need. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need, the black economic base. You know, that's his legacy, man.
Absolutely. So we touched on a couple things about the legacy of Nipsey Hussle and just what he brought to that culture and that area of town, the Crenshaw and Slauson area. So we definitely touched on some good topics. Again, I enjoyed the album, the Victory Lap, and I gave my favorite two songs, which are Million While You're Young and also Right Hand to God. And Vinny, what was yours again?
I had like three. What was it? Victory Lap, Hustle and Motivate, and Double Up.
Double Up.
Yeah.
All those are bangers. So we're going to get out of here, but hopefully y'all enjoyed this. So tell them how they can find you on social media.
Okay, yeah, for sure. You can find me at Vinny_Sankofa on Instagram and Vinny Lamont on Facebook. I don't know how to operate this TikTok and all of that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have a TikTok.
I don't know how to use none of that stuff. But those are the only two platforms I'm on, man.
Okay, shout out to that. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that Positive Be White. Check those out. And yeah, follow me there. And we'll check y'all next time. We out.